Alright, hopefully I've fixed all of that. First time attempting multi-streaming. Oh, that music's loud. And audio. That'll do. But yeah, give it a couple of minutes before I move, just in case. A couple of my panels are actually missing as well. Well, that's going to be hard. That's difficult. You have audio in this, but I don't get visual. Would that be on Twitch? Yeah, right. I'm not sure why that would be. Maybe a wee brief second. That's not it. Close that. Okay, that's not it either. That one didn't work. Oh. You seem to be working on trusty old YouTube, by the way. Right, thank you. That's odd. I'll need to keep an eye on all that then. So I'll just get back to the gameplay. Right. Technical difficulties aside, trying to multi-stream somehow. A couple of my panels are missing, but I'll figure it out somehow later. I'm not really too sure about the Twitch one, because I'm only doing Twitch because I felt like I'd had problems with YouTube, but now the YouTube problems seem to have fixed themselves, and now I've got more problems showing up on Twitch. I'll leave it now. I'll leave it running now and see what happens. Peeps, if you're out there, let me know what's going on in the chat. If the Twitch thing is still terrible, if it's not connecting, then tell me what it is you're trying to watch it on, because I'm not really too sure how all this stuff works. Oh, yeah, oh, right. Yeah, that wasn't it. Oh, never mind. Right, I'm going to start working. Let's see how we get on. Now, for anybody that's showing up late, or on time, or anything else, so hang on desktop Twitch works, on my mobile app I only get audio. I have no idea why that is. Any ideas? I can briefly, hang on, I'll just grab my phone here, just brief check. Nah. YouTube's working fine, so let's see. First time chat. Do you have Space Engineers 2? Yes, I do. KMK, I've got Space Engineers 2, but I bought it when the alpha came out instantly, but I'm planning not to play it until they get to full release, because I am one of the people that want to experience the game as the developer intended. But I do own it because I still want to contribute to Keen Software House. Now, let's see. Hopefully I've got enough materials to get me started. You're going to wait another 2 years to play it? Probably. No guarantees, but it's possible I might wait 2 years, or I might just wake up one day and just let the needle get the better of me and I'll just jump straight in. It's a case of a never say never type thing. Now, let's see. Where is this? Okay, let's hope I've got enough blocks for this. Right, half blocks, and let's count to 50. Right, and let's get my taskbar filled up. So, projector and a helm, and I'll probably need a hinge at some point as well. I always need hinges for my stuff. Let's see, there we go. I asked them about stone mining in SE2. I hope they add it back in. If no stone mining, I think I would refund my game. Well, that is for you to decide, but I think it might be one of the things that they'll put in later. I think they'll realise maybe early game it might be useful, but I'm not entirely too sure about the whole how that all works. But well, I did enjoy the stone mining myself. In fact, in SE1 I used stone mining an awful lot to get gravel and stuff, but that's because there's uses for it, like missiles and equipment and stuff, so I guess that's how it would work. Track layer. Oh wait, I didn't even press the right button, I just popped it that. Track layer. Right, click. Right, oops. Right, jump on here. Track layer. There we go. Always get a wee on and off effort here. I do this way because I often always forget the numbers I need to put into the projector for this piece of track, even though I do it so often that I should remember, but I don't. So, right, so that's there, right. And let's see, horizontals, up and down, verticals, up and down, forwards, up and down. Right. Right, first of all, let's connect to the Tor and see if it's got the builders on. Off. And let's see. Projector track layer. Blueprint. Wait for the 200. I don't feel like a game if you mine the ground or side of a mountain and get nothing. Yeah, I can understand that. I'd like it if it was like you do it, but only you get like very small trace amounts out of it. It would just be enough to get you started, but not enough to like build like a base or anything like that. And that'd be a preferable idea. But I think the design philosophy they're going with the game is drastically different for the first, especially with the new game engine. But I'll find out in due course when I'm getting there myself. Right, so down we go. Let's see if I can line this properly. It's pointing up. I'm going to need to keep that pointing up. And down, 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 down. Come back here, check the track height. Right, so track height's good. Right, obviously I'm going to push it forward as far as I can go. And then one left. That's us. And I think I'll put forward another. And then start there. Now here comes the tricky part, is disconnecting this track. That means 3 segments each need to be removed. And then I need to rebuild all 3 sections once the track is in place. And how bad is it here as well? Am I able to skip over that? No. Right, I have a challenge to deal with. They could use the stone for concrete blocks, other stuff they don't give us iron, silicon, nickel. I just want stone. It's a good idea. I wouldn't say no to that. A wee bit of concrete, nice and flat surface for aircraft, for example. Something to land on. That'd be a good idea. Also, if they put, like, for example, if I were to like press the P button, no, wrong one, and bring up the paint menu with all the different textures, they could add some textures to specifically stone-made concrete that you can only get with stone-made concrete, for example, rather than just painting everything the same block. That might be a good idea. DLC-wise, well, I wouldn't say no, and I would probably pick it up as well. Now, let's see. Carving the track. Oh, hang on. Hey, just wee second, bear with me. Tap that, and this. Ah. Right, so that is there. Let's see. Right. Time to disconnect. That's the first one away. Ooh. How much space do I need? I'm gonna need a few. Right, I'll start this in. No. Get the struts in the middle away. And then we'll get the next part set up. And it'll bring the train. Yeah, all has to go. Ouch. Extra piece away just so the things don't connect to each other. This will be the tricky part. And I'll need to get rid of this whole section just to stop any bugging out. And you can go to. Right, that's the first part done. Now the second part. This side. Anybody who's wondering, no, the trains are stopped because I stopped them quite a distance down the track, and primary train is backed up towards the main cave in the desert, and the utility trains are nearby just waiting for the go ahead. And it has been so long since I built track, like, I don't know, 5-6 months ago maybe. It's long time. A bit more. Right, now, here comes the interesting part, where to begin with the construction. I need to temporarily place a bit of track here at the base, so my constructor trains and my station builder train are on the track. That's part A. Part B is once they're on the track, possibly need to dismantle this bit here, put the curves back in case I need to move the primary train to send it back down the track, and then keep, once I've got these two through this junction area, I can then think about following the terrain and then speeding on towards the northeast. Right. Ooh. Right. Just a wee brief moment. I may or may not have forgotten something. And I'll just press that, tap that, and then keep that away just now. And leave that there. Right. Yeah. Right, I'm in. Start with the connection points here. And I'll be brief, but effective, maybe. Like so. No, that's going to need to be changed. Just do that. This will get fixed later. Right, so this one's in place. Wait a minute, I could just... Right, hang on, I'm being a fool. I can do this trick here as well, but these ones can be removed later. Oh no, well they can't. Right, they can from there because of this, so I will move it back one. Yeah. I'll move back a couple actually. Right, and then tuck around the corner. Up. And that's good. And good. Other side. Oops. Right, that's there. You can go. And you can go. And another one here. Alright. So far, so good. Let's plug in a gap. And I'll pop that around like that. And pop in another gap over here. I'll colour these ones red so I know that I need to change them like later. And pop that there. Oh! I did not press that button. Right. Alright, let's get these things moving. If I get room up there, yes I do. Wrong door. Right, I'm in. And it's getting dark. Right, well, before I do that, then let's see how far away is the skull. Don't see him on the list. Oh, he's well beyond darkness for a wee bit, I suppose. Anyway, let's see now. How did I do this? I pressed cruise control 7 and then 4. Yep, and we're moving. And I'll need to keep an eye on this, and I'll leave a wee gap before I send the next one. So I've got time, albeit they're moving slow, but time enough to catch them so they don't derail. And then I'll pull back. How much longer? But no. And again, I've still got them set to 73 on my taskbar. Now they're all moving. Right, I'm going to briefly try and see if I can grab the skull. I'll need to see where it is first. I think it's way out there. But I'll plant my character here just now and I'll zip back if I need to, so this is my wee trick. Right, where is he? I think he's still out here at the skull station. Yep, there he is. Right, so I'll just quickly do my teleport thing in order to control him, because I'm going to need his lighting. Control up. Alright, press F so I don't need control him that way, and then terminal. Floodlights on. Basic task, follow player, follow me, AI behavior on. And flight mode, AI behavior on. Just check I did that correctly. Stop, follow me. Alright, hopefully that'll work, and hopefully he'll start following once I'm out of here. I'll bring myself back here. Yep, back over. Right. So, I've got a wee bit of time until these trains get here. Give me a wee sec to mess about with OBS just now. Let's see now, that's the activity feed. Where's the other one? It's not that. Is it this? Nope. That's that one. Click. What's that say? Nope. And we'll make that smaller just in case. And settings. That's not it. Interesting. Anyway, let's get back into the game settings right now. So right, I'm back here now. So, what's going on? I found that there. Oh, hang on. I might need to adjust that then, because I think that was still the. Yeah, that was the other one. Move that there. I don't know what that button means. I just. Something to be said for needing tech support. Ha! How was if I press this button here? And that. I don't know what button I just pressed there. I would do it. What button did I press? Aha! So that does work. Interesting. I'll leave that as is. And there's a delay and all. Oh. First time multi-streaming and I feel like a tit. But let's see. I am tempted to take control and move them up faster to get them there quicker. Right, I'm actually going to do that because then it'll create a big enough gap for me. So full stop at 6, and I'll leave the thingy zone just now, the welder zone just now. I'll move this bro up. Right, slow down. Stop! Crap! No, 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 no. Back. Back. Oh, right, close up. Right, what's happened here? Right, twist. No. This is tricky. Launch it. No. Dang it. Right, don't move, train. I'm going to fix that. Somehow I'm going to fix that. Right, click. So that obviously didn't get welded up quickly enough, leaving a gap. And then I'm going to need to lock that in place just now. It's not great, but it'll do. Right, rotor lock. Let's see if I can pull them back. Shift K, control partially. Come on, squeeze in. No, I'll remove this then. I think if I do, I'm not sure I've got the room for it, but ooh, use my wee favourite block. Pop it in there. Let's see if this makes a difference now. Come on, come on. Oh, 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 haha. Right, now to unlock his rotor. Ooh, and remove that piece as well. Can't have that. Right. Rotor lock off. Excellent. And I'll just pop my wee thingy back in again. It was red, and it needs to be red for reasons later, and pop that in there. Right, you can move back further, bro. Much further back. Ah, good boy. So, a wee slight derailment, a bit of an embarrassment, but hey ho, that's what happens in working. Ooh, bit of damage there. That's all good. That can be fixed later. These things are gonna get bashed around a lot. Right. Now that we're on track, ready to go, I think I can now safely press the cruise button. Yeah. We're moving slowly because I need to weld everything. Because if I don't, well, I'll fall off the track. Ha! Oh, it's like the early days again. And is the skull moving? I can't tell. It'd be so far away. Amongst all of that, somewhere, it might be coming towards me to light my path. Anyway, let's see. Yep. Excellent. Excellent. He's working. Making the gap properly. Good, good. Now, this guy's turn, and I'm going to need to get my truck. Because the truck has my janitors who are going to clean the place for me. And help out if anything goes bad. And I just noticed light moving in my direction. Because there's wee Skullbro right there. He's following me, keeping me lit. Nice. Slide up, on, reverse. That's going to be a problem. I just realised that some of the stuff that's a mess is on the inside of the loop, which I think this truck can't get into. So that's good. Yeah, I can see the rock. I can see it. I can see it. Right. Fine, fine. Done. And let's proceed. Hopefully. And we just sneak in front of here. Because this guy will also help with the building of the struts. Ooh! Yep, janitors are out. See the wee blue dots there, right? Hang on, I jumped in. Yep. Blue orbs there, that's my janitors coming in and out. But I heard a strange sound. It sounded like something being bashed. I don't see anything getting bashed at the minute. Excellent. And I just need to wait until they get to up here. And this is going to be tricky, so I'm going to make a start on fixing this. Because I don't want it connecting. I mean, that would be lovely having an X intersection here, but unfortunately the gap between the sections is still going to be too large. So I'm going to need to do some fancy work. Well, temporary, because a lot of these bits I'm going to put back in place later. Right, let's pull this out for a start. And track stops here. So, nope, that's not good. Nope. There we go. Pop around this side and put my lights on as well. Right, so that should keep that attached to that, so that don't get deleted, and the lights are off. Uh-oh. I need a battery and I need one fast, because when I disconnected them, they are no longer powered, which means my janitors are going to think, oh, blocks needing removed. Right, pop one in here. Go on, go on. Give me this stuff. Gimme. Come on. Yes. And now we need another battery for the other side. Making sure that these things all keep working. Lights are back on one side. Such a limited resource as well. Because I still don't have a valid, what you might call it, source of nickel. Very rare. Right, done. Safe. Whew. Janitors won't do nothing. Ooh, my activity feed says KMK777 followed you. Thank you. I actually have wee widgets and things that are supposed to come up and tell me, and haven't. Or at least I don't think I saw them, but you might have. But, well, somebody should have found out, and it probably wasn't me. But hello, and welcome, thank you, and yes, you're the guy talking about stone. Let's see. Yo. Right. And I'll need to do the same on this side. We'll use the grey though, because I think the grey just means it's track based. And then one more, being the safe side. I need clearance as well. Right. And then pop her on this side. That one. Right, done. And we'll just remove these blocks. And hopefully that's enough clearance to stop anything snapping together. because that will be a nightmare. I'll cut that away. Do I have to remove that? But what I can do is not a battery. Put this back in its usual place. What if I were to do that? But then this wouldn't get welded up, right? Even though I'll probably need to remove these sections again and then put these ones back in and stuff. But we'll see. Speaking of which, what is over here? Because I know I'm barreling straight towards this mound, and it's when I get to the other side of this mound is when I'm going to consider dipping back down towards the terrain. I feel like I'm wanting a long stretch, a track for a 6-car train to be able to park in and stay without interference, which means needing a couple of intersections, Y-shaped switch points, and that means 2, 1 in each end and 1 mirrored. So that's a job all in and of itself. Oh no! Oh, what is that noise that I keep hearing? So far the boys are doing their work. However, did he? Oh, he's missed a bit. He's missed quite a lot, yeah, actually. I can't squeeze in there with that truck, so I'm going to have to probably do this a bit manual here. And here. There we go. Yeah, I can't get it. Right. Need steel. Right, well I need gas as well. Yes. Hydrogen. Click. Did I eat all of my meat? No, I put it all away. Damn it. Steel plates. That'll do it. Where's the food processor? Skip in here, and I've got fruit apparently. Right, so where's the other one? Yep, there, I did. I popped it back in. Right, anyway. Now I just finished constructing these, and hopefully I've not missed the boys falling off the edge at the other end. Come on. Hey! So what's going on here? Close, close. Not quite there yet. Obviously, I'm not able to weld up a battery just yet, but at least I can get these done just now. And only doing this one manually because big truck can't fit. Right. What? Already? No, I did only take a couple hundred. Come on, steel. Click. Yes, full inventory now of steel. Will it be enough? Oh, oh, hang on. I see what's happening here. Please don't snap together. It did. Oh, right. So I'm going to niche at the back end of this track just in case. Did this all stay in line? Yep, alignments are good down here. So what's happened is that the gap between the blocks being welded and the gap between the two bits of track that were looped together decided it would snap together. The distance was too short. So what happens is that this whole grid here at the bottom was then grabbed and then yanked back a few spaces, which means this could become a problem for me later. But I don't think so. I think that space is good enough for a full block, so that when I put that full block in there, it'll make it even closer, which means it's a lot tighter. So when the trains start like navigating their way back around, it should be fine. Let's hope that it doesn't happen to this one, because that is like nearly a full block anyway. So that could actually connect. I'm actually tempted to pop one in there when this track's actually done, just to see what happens. You know, shits and giggles and all that. And we'll see. But, ooh, you're getting close to the finishing point, so I'll be, first of all, making sure you come to a pause once you're done. Nearly there. And then 6 is to full stop. Right, stopped, and the to turn the welders off because the water have cooked me. And down here, what happened? Stayed separate on this side, and it did as well. See, that's got space. I'm tempted. I'm so tempted. I'm just going to save place just in case. Could I plant a block in there, do you think? And what happens? Will it be connected? Oh, it does. Oh my. Oh my. Nice. So it seems like the game itself has actually spaced these things apart that I couldn't do myself back in the day when I built them. Nice. And are we closing in on the end point here? Ooh, I get to use the copy and paste function for the build info. See, when I was building all these tracks for the southwest part of the route, the massive, like, I don't know, 30 kilometres of track, I didn't do that with the projector, and every time I needed a projector I had to put one down and then put all the settings in and then try and memorise it all. Now I can just copy and paste it into the projector as long as I've placed the projector in the right point. So, yay! I can't believe these things are actually just nearly past the junction point behind. Nice. So full stop and welders off. Do not press 4 whatever I do. Right. So that's that done. Quickly going to weld these up before I do the next part, which is the next projector, to get a bit more straight line done. And then I think I need to start drilling into that mound. Right. So the only thing missing then is the panel in the back of the battery and the battery itself. Right, so I'll do that quickly because I have the resources tucked away in the truck. Click. Let's see. Don't hit. Click. Yep. And now the moment truth. Can I separate this? Oh well, no, because it's attached to the top end as well. So I kind of separate it at the moment, although I really should be. Right, you're done. Time to copy and paste this projector, and then remove this piece of scaffolding. So copy settings, copy all, remove. Did I just it's fine. I can work. I know what I'm doing. I can work that out. See, what I've just done, the boo boo, is that see the struts there that hold up the track. There's one at the other end, and I didn't weld that one up. But if oh, I'm good. Because this is going to be one massive solid piece of at least 4,600 blocks long out of the 4 that you see, 4 bits of track here, then it's going to be on when I put the projector in. It's going to be there anyway. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I like it when you make a mess or a pause up or a mistake and you actually realise, no, it's not actually a mistake, you've actually done something rather unintentionally smart. But we'll see, because I still need to actually pull this bugger back 20, 50 odd blocks, so we'll see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think that might be 50. We'll see. Oh, right, click and weld, and we'll see if this works. So I don't think I can copy the. No, so I was going to say I don't think I can actually copy the projection itself, but I could just, you know, copy the settings. So what do you mean, Nick? I'll just take enough resources for a couple of them. No, no, no! Well, at least it took 40 odd minutes into this session before I died. Look at that limp corpse. Jeez. Right. Let's get my stuff back. Although I suspect some it's going to be hiding. There's my meat. I just want to eat some meat. Now, why do I have many? 1. Separate. Are you? Okay, I'll do this the old-fashioned way. 1. And 1. And 1. Good. Now, where's the rest of my bottles? In the wrong place. Hydrogen tank. Has to be an empty tank. Yes, all the bottles are in, and now I do this way. And pull out the resource. Ooh. Ooh. Right, that's that grabbed, and No, I don't need that one grabbed. Right, let's pick up exactly where we left off without me being a complete tit. What is purple out there? What is that? I'll find out in a sec. I'll weld this up and I'll go over and see. Later. Blueprint. 200. No, it didn't copy the settings. Copy. Paste. First of all, let's eat. And next of all, that worked. So this was the struts that I accidentally removed by clicking away the other projector, but now I've got that projector up there and this bit's all going to get connected up. This worked! Although that's a wee bit elevated to the soil because now I'm tremendously heading upward. And hopefully if this keeps going upward, I'll reach the pinnacle as the ground comes up to get me. Yep, and then I can then lower back down. Excellent! Let's see what this is. Is this a... I have no idea what that is. It's purple! I've went through all the ores that have been possible to find with this mod pack and I've no idea what ore that is. Silver. Is it glitching or something? Am I Lots of stone. Silver ore is purple. So I'm gonna guess the ore mod that I've got is maybe developed a slight bug. Right. Who's first? Guy in the left. Let's tuck ourselves in here. Click and 7 and 3. He's on the move. Yep. Nice. Your turn. And then I'm going to bring the truck. And he would be 7 and 3. Excellent. Everything's working fine. And I think I also need to bring the station builder along as well. But first, this guy. Right, reverse thrust, let's go. Strange times. Strange. Whoa! Brakes. Slow down. Stop. Something's bouncing around. I wonder if it's something inside here. Something's definitely rattling about. Do you think my janitors would have cleaned it or fixed it? Let's slow down and turn. Let's edge up to the side. Squeezing in. And then reverse back up. Stop. And that should do us. We can sit and wait here. And this guy's going to build that. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a slow process laying this track, but at least it's getting laid and done properly, and over a period of time you'll start seeing results. And I'm wondering how much further I need to be. I just like the fact that this was getting fixed up when I thought I'd messed it up. So, oh wait, nah. I forgot the corner when that block moved. Yeah. See it? It's not a problem, I can fix that. I just need to dismantle it and then put it back in place. Or do it the other way around. Because no way is a 3x3 large grid wheel, small grid wheel going to fit through that gap. So I bet the other side, I am guaranteeing you that on the other side at the curve, it's again my number one rule, and it happened again. Yep. Look at that noise. Jeez. I can fix it. I'm good at this, I can fix it. I have to keep telling myself that, even if it's a lie. I'm good at this. See, there's the lie. But yeah, what I can do is I could probably put a hinge block or something here rather than down there, and then just line it up as close as I can by so many degrees. That is a pain, and a right pain. Right, let's move the truck forward. Help assist with the struts when they get there. And then I'll go get the other train and bring it forward. Right. I was going to say if the guys stopped, they haven't. It's just they're so incredibly slow. And full stop. Yep, they're still moving. Wondering if that's enough length for a free car train, but I'll wait until I get to there and set up the next projector before I do a 3 car length. I think I need to put 100 block effort up there rather than a 200. Because each one of the rail wagons is about 30 large grid blocks long. The station builder train has got 3 units. So it's like 90 odd blocks long, so should be enough room. But then I've also got these ones to think about as well, they're also the same too. Is it 30 blocks long? Was it 15? I was again myself the 30 gap just in case. I can't remember actually. But now it's time to turn the builders on. Five. Whoa! Oh yeah, that, right, yeah, whoops. Off. Yeah, I forgot about that. So when so when these builder blocks are trying to weld up stuff while a train is going over it in close proximity to wheels, it tends to get a bit not too happy. So again, I need to wait until the last batch of wheels are through and then I can turn the buggers on. It's actually making great progress so far. I mean, it might not look like great progress because it's only like I can still see the station over there and you know all the rest of it. But I mean, from my point of view, this is fantastic progress. Oh, 1 unit's through. Did it even weld up like the battery? No. Oh, what's missing? Let me guess. Energy cells? No. Fair enough. Right, both units are essentially through. Let's get that strut built again. Right, now no excessive noise this time, guys. Oh! Well, just a little bit. It's been so long since I got these things out of storage. Sitting in the hoosies in the back corner all that time. Nearly there. Nearly there. And if I do that and that. Right. So it appears that whatever bugs I was having with YouTube last month disappeared. But the problem now appears to be on Twitch. Which, alright, fine. This week was an attempt to try and feel like, you know, we'll test out Twitch. And then last minute, while I was catching up, I thought, just click the button for multi-stream, do both just in case. Well, the YouTube one's working fine. It's working well. I think it is. You guys would need to tell me if it is, right? But it feels like on my end, for here, for what I'm seeing, it's working well. A Twitch one, it's working well if you're watching it on desktop or some other means, but apparently if you're watching on your phone, something about the byte rates all rang, so probably need to look up Google or something and do some reading on how to fix that. I don't know. It's been like, what, over a year or so since I last streamed on Twitch. And even that was a different game, I think. No, it was this one. It was back in the old world when I was doing my tutorials or building my tutorials for rail track design, and it's just it's like I'd have to like undo all my stuff from my OBS and then start again from the ground up, just so that I can be sure that I know what I'm doing is right. To get it multi-streaming, because like I'm missing some of my panels and all that stuff as well. One of my YouTube ones is missing, a couple of my Twitch ones are missing, but I feel like YouTube is where I spent most of my time live streaming. It's where I put most of my videos. I'm going to still try and keep with that the new and keep the live streams there for next month's. Although next one should be what, 4 weeks from now, late December maybe. Around Christmas time. That could be tricky for me. Oh, I'm working late, very late. Right, let's see. You're almost in place, and I am on the correct train. Looks like I might not even need to drill anything. If this has been angled correctly for down there, when I reach this hump, I should just skim over the top of it and then think about descent on the other side. And 4 and 6 and 4 on, no, yes, 6 and 4 on the taskbar. 6 and 4 here. The other train is the one that's got something really kind of like a trap. If I press 4 on this one, it's just going to bolt off the track as fast as it can. So this one, it's 3 and 7, no, 6 and 3 to stop. Right, so 6 and 3. No, I'll press 3 a wee bit longer. Get the basics done, and we stop. Get the truck. Bring it forward, and while he's welding up the strut, I'm going to go grab the station builder and bring that across the track. Ow. And we bite as well. Stop here. Yep, that's us. Now we'll go get the other guy. But first, I'm probably best to get some hydrogen. Click, 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 and back in here. Zip. I made about 1.5 kilometers of distance. Ooh. Heard that noise in the distance there. Did he stop following me maybe? Why am I still moving? Ah. Right. Come on you. Follow me again. I think it's because I keep switching in and out of certain grids, so it's why it doesn't fancy grabbing me. Right, on to the station. And this is the Mark 6. The 6th incarnation of this type of train. I'm going to go under here. And yeah, while I'm here actually, I'll show some changes that happened. So this is the way you get on the train. The interiors are pretty much the same, but changes that what happened for the last stream. We brainstormed and worked out this coupler here is much better with these bracelets above to stop any riding on top of each other as well. Also helps with noise and collisions, much better. Station builder trains had like the wee habitation zones at either end. However, at the back I removed the habitation section, placed larger, small grid but large connectors to either side, no connectors, conveyors, so that they share the resources for all their builder units and all their cargo containers among each other, so it's all still functional, and that way I get to keep my red lights at the back of this one. So what I'm going to do is I am going to jump into the cockpit here, straight off the platform and in, and then we're going to power up. So part 5, press 2 and we begin moving. Camera, so we are moving, and speed. Straight out of the station. It's just so cool. Nice. Where's my front headlights? Should be on. No. Lights. Lights, exterior, main, rear, reactor. Spotlights, folder on. That one's off. That one needs to be on. Yep. Look at this, just gliding straight across the new bit of track. Nice. I mean, this one might seem a bit short, but that's because this is specifically being built to be a station builder. So whenever I find something on the way to the northeastern ice fields, I will build stations as we go, hopefully, because that's the plan. We're putting this on the track in front, and if I need more ore and resources, I'll have to get the other train to come and follow up, maybe, or switch it back. What wheel size is that in the middle? I think that's a small grid 3x3. I'm going to come to a stop in a wee sec and I'll jump under and take a peek just in case. But it should be a 3x3. I mean, I've done them enough times. I've put like hundreds of them on all these trains here. But now this guy's clear of the section behind, and then I'll begin the power down process. They begin to slow. Plenty of space, plenty of time. Excellent. I can leave the cockpit and jump down. So let's see, gripe. No, they're 5x5s. Sorry about that. They're 5x5s. I got that completely wrong. They're all 5x5s. Ah, come on. I think I'd be better at this already. Right, so yeah, they're all 5x5s, mate. Effectively slotted into the track, so yeah, 5x5, nicely placed. But what I'm going to need to do now is get this effort under the ground. It's great weight of me. Well, thanks very much. Thank you. I've been at it long enough, like the whole year now, roughly. I'm just going to remove these and then plant this in the grunt. Right, grab that. Into the voxel, so things will not move, and you don't belong. And beams, don't need the hinges yet, but I will. Right, and this one. Right, done. Now to get the projector and bring it up here. Nah. I'm going to pop some of the steel plate in here. This thing could always do with some steel. Maybe it's not even the steel plate that it needs. What is taking up my inventory space? Let's pop them in there anyway. Let's grab this. Oh no! Just to be on the safe side, copy the settings first. No, I've still got them saved. Right, click, click, click. What are we saying here? So what's the max speed that it can hit then? Does it tilt in the corners? Right. Strap yourself in. So over the course of a year, right, of doing this and building the track and then sweeping corners, long corners, and an attempt at a spiral. Yeah, that was not fun. I'm going to try it again, right? But it turns out that, see, when you start to tilt the track, unless the train you're using itself has been built with a very, very low centre of gravity, it's going to slide off the track every single time, unless you've got something wrapping around the rails itself. But because of this rail design, I don't have anything that wraps around it, so I have to rely entirely on gravity keeping them pulled down. It means that when the track ever so slightly, and we're talking like it was 1 degree, and at one point I had the track tilted at 15 degrees, and no, the trains were just literally just hitting that track, sliding straight off at any speed. For most of the cornering I've got for the specific track I'm using, if I'm using a curve or a corner of any kind that exceeds 3 degrees per hinge section as I'm going around in the curve, the maximum speed I could maybe achieve going above that up to 6 degrees would be 15 meters per second maximum. Anything faster than that, and the guide wheels start to have odd phantom forces, and then they break and the train derails. If your cornering is going to be much lower, so 3 degrees per hinge that you're using for each corner, or 2 degrees, which is the minimum you can get, because if you do 1 degree the things will snap together. So between the 2 and 3 degrees you can maybe punch that up to 20. I think I got it up to 25 meters per second, but beyond that, no so much. I'm playing with full survival and full block destruction, so if you didn't want to worry about block destruction, you have that turned off, you can achieve 100 meters per second speed, but the train will still fly off at certain speeds if the centre of gravity is too high up for the train. So that's the only thing you would need to bear in mind. So right now I'm working entirely with a maximum speed of 15 meters per second. It don't sound like much, but 15 meters per second is plenty for what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is I'm going with mass, huge mass. So the train right, I'll quickly use spectator mode and I'll show you. It's further back here, and I will quickly bring up the lights just briefly to show you, right? So, oh wait, now you can see here. So this train here, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. So the locomotive, the hopper, and the four cargo cars, right? This will carry easily 10 mil kgs of ore and deposit it on its own. So it'll go to a mining site, collect 10 million kilos of ore, and then bring it back to your station and drop it off, right? I don't need to do that in a hurry, because then if I do that, then all my cargo space and my refineries all get clogged up. So I'm quite happy with low speed, because it means that when I'm sitting building or just faffing about in the base and the train comes through, I'll like go, oh, there's a train, and just sit and stare at it like like I would in real life when I'm at a station. But yeah, 15's plenty, I feel. If you're flying, obviously you can go like way quicker, but the fuel costs as well. The fuel cost is what's key, because these things don't really take that much fuel or energy in order to get around. Alright, I am using deuterium reactors, but that's just for me, but they're very good. Far more effective than drones. I'd say so far more effective than a drone, yes. However, it's your time input versus reward. So if it takes you about, say, an hour to build and program a drone, and it takes you about a year to put all these trains together on a full scale track, although that's me and I'm doing it in a massive scale, but say you were just doing, say, a 5 kilometre round trip on a bit of track, you could have that set up in, say, about a week's worth of effort. A couple of trains designed and built, placed on the track, say another week, and then you're good to go, and then you can just forget about it. Whereas the drone in that time will have already been running, but it depends on how much space you're putting in. Come on, that's the fun. It's SE. Yes, that's it, exactly. That is the fun of it, isn't it? Is seeing if you can do it. Let's not ask ourselves if we should build a thing. Let's just build it and see if we can do a thing. Right, hopefully I counted that right. I kind of lost track there for a sec. And, pardon the pun, lost track, building track. You build corners only with hinges then? Yep. I'll briefly show. I'm going to assume you're new here. I don't recognise the name either, but so welcome, of course. I may have missed that. My apologies. I'll quickly show you into where's the lights? This is going to require a wee cheaty here. Right, so this is a basic curve. This is probably the sharpest, narrowest curve. Each one of these hinges is set to 6 degrees. So if you move 6 degrees in a hinge and then add, say, 5 blocks, that's your gap. Thought about a rotor to minimise the gap. Kept trying the rotor, it just wasn't very good. Every time we used the rotor, it just was no lining up properly. That's why I ended up adapting. The hinges were far superior. The hinges don't have any vertical movement, so keeping everything flat as possible is much easier than when I'm using the rotor, because when I'm using the rotor where it's been underneath and with the tracking and having to constantly adjust the displacement to move each piece up and down, it was just more cost effective and time effective to do the hinges, and it meant I could accurately control exactly how far they've gone. It especially came in handy when I had to do intersections, because if out here, there's this bit here breaks off and then the two bits of track line up with each other, so the whole thing moves around. Okay, as I get 0.5 degree corner without snapping grids together. I always went above 1.5 degrees, because every time I went below that, the grids always snapped together. That's why I always recommend minimum of 2 degrees. But then if you're doing 2 and say you're doing a 90 degree curve, then that's 45 hinges in a circle, in like a half circle all the way around. That's how many you're going to need a day. A sort of quarter circle. Get it right. So that's how many you'll need to put in. So a resource investment, time investment. But see, once you get, you know, put on some music, and then just drown out the world, and then just get rolling, start to just become like muscle memory as you go through it. And literally, my tracks go all the way. And I even had fun with this big piece here, the big S-shaped thing as well. That was a nightmare to fix the tilt, because there was a bit of tilt in the track, and I had to build all this just to undo a slight tilt. Yeah, I've got a lot of switching lanes. I've also got an intersection that is for a Y shape, and one that's an X shape, so that allows me to maneuver trains in and out of different locations and stuff, so that they're all in. And this is the end point for one of the tracks. So the track splits in the middle and goes in opposite directions and are runes, so they'll always connect. So I can always get a loop again. And come back out here to my messy desert. And here we go. I saw other videos but can never catch you live. I'm usually only ever live like once a month. I have a lot of IRL commitments and work and all that stuff to, you know, the usual stuff to deal with. So that's how I've been difficult getting my live times out. I do sometimes feel like I should go live a bit more often, and when I get the bug for it, I fancy it, you know. I fancy like, oh, do a wee bit of live and all that stuff and see how it goes. Oh no, don't weld anything, don't weld anything. I've got to turn that off. Yeah, he's going to start welding that. Right. Off. But yeah, somebody's been watching my videos. That's thank you. That's quite good. I like that. I like hearing from people that they watch them, because I've been doing this for a while, and I literally just started doing things and thinking, just do it, go for it, see how it goes and see how far I can get. It did help me get over a lot of burnout in that kind of like halfway through a project and you just feel like you can't go on anymore, but then you just plough through kind of thing. This is what's helped. I'll let you build now instead of irritating questions. See, it's not irritating. It's good questions. Good questions get good answers, and it helps me think as well and gets good answers out of me too. So I wouldn't say it was that bad, although you can see where I've went too far with the build. So I think it was 52 blocks up then on that, so I'm going to need to pull that back by 2. I can see what's going up. So obviously 100 blocks when I've done it, because see the struts in front, that's where 100 blocks will have been. Let's get this back. Oh, I'll get back into, get my time back. There we go. Yo. So I need to move this back to, so would that be PRO, track layer? It would be forward back to 46. Yep, in place. Now where does this take me up at the front? That's SE, build 20 times, crash 19, but 20 works. Exactly. Well, that train back there that's pulling the station builders, that's the 6th incarnation of the locomotive, because I keep reiterating it and then rebuilding and trying to see how it goes. This is nice. This is a nice height. So if I come out here, my elevation is going to keep going up in regards to the core. And then I would need to turn, because I'm aiming for a canyon or here somewhere. So, you know what, I'm just bringing the light back up now. Right, so, see this canyon? Right, so see straight ahead, this canyon out here. This is what I'm aiming for, right? But I also want to dip down into this desert, then take a left turn towards it, and then a right turn in the canyon, because there's like kind of a canyon bowl on the other side of the kind of cliffs, where I kind of want to test out a spiraling incline up without tilting the track, so that I can get up to the next cliff level above and then shoot off towards the forest at the other end of that, which is like, I want to say between 12 and 15 kilometers away, easy, that distance away. So I'm thinking if I come up to here, I would be too high, wouldn't I? I'd be elevated, so... Right. I'll send the builders up here first, and then once they're done, I will separate the track to cut down on 7-speed damage. I'll place a hinge at the end with a helm, and I'll see how much off of centre I've went. And can I even do this remotely for the Forsura? No, they don't appear to have their thingies on. Put the beacons on. No, the beacons, the comms. Antennae. Let's see, is the antennas actually on? Because I'm pretty sure they were on. Yeah. Shopper, yeah, maybe no. Anyway, right, 4 and 7. And don't press 4 on this one. So you can tell this one's an older variant when my taskbar is just slightly different, where I've got a speed boost on the taskbar that would absolutely mess me up. So 7 to get moving and 3 this time to get it welding. Good. Very good. And both these guys will keep moving. Right. Now just move the truck to now. Might as well since I'm here. Right, jump in and go. I mean, the truck's already pointing at the horizon being massively out of place, but it's not the same as the train right now. But we'll see, really see. Really, every time I see, I'm amazed how you did it. I have so many questions. Well, we've got, like, what, 20 minutes? Have at. It keeps me chatting as well, so one at a time, please. We'll see how many can get through. See if I can help, because that's the thing. I started all of this, like, to help. That's all it was. It was to help others. A colleague of mine in work, great guy, says to me, "You're doing all this stuff, you don't show anybody. Think of how many people out there would be wanting to do the same thing. You could tell them, you could teach them, you could show them. So why don't you stream it? Why don't you make videos about it?" So I did. And I've been trying to keep up with this as much as possible. Alright, sure, the tutorials kind of like, I've done like 2 or 3, and then I go massively sidetracked with building this massive series, but I figured this, if you're watching the videos and following the series through, you would at least build up an idea of what the goals are and how I'm doing it. No realising, of course, I might not be the best at making videos in order to explain these things, but I am new. I am still new. I might be a year in, but I'm still new. Right, dampen the throat a wee bit here. Right. It's good enough what you tell and entertaining. Thank you. I mean, that's kind of like what I was hoping for, that where I was either speaking in a video or just running through the motions quietly, that at least if I could visually show like bare minimum what's going on, and to try and inspire somebody to think, oh, he's done that, and then to be able to copy it, you know, copy by seeing. And when I'm doing live streams, when I'm talking, that people would come in like yourself and then ask a few questions so I could say as well. But I sometimes feel like maybe when I'm talking I over babble, and I don't trim things down enough to be more accurate. But I guess it's like stream number 6, and every single stream so far, with the exception of when the trains decide to fly off the tracks, but every time I've done a stream, it's went relatively well, and I've had a few people asking questions of that as well. Bit difficult in the language. I am Dutch, and you have a nice accent, but have to really pay attention. I'm sorry about that. I've been told before that being Scottish, we talk fast, and the more excited we get, the faster we talk. And when you're asking me questions, I get a wee bit excited because somebody's asking me questions about what I'm doing, and I get faster and faster. So I need to keep reminding myself, like, slow down, slow down, slow down. And also my wording as well. I've got a lot of, I use words that you don't generally get in English. So there's that as well. Again, ask questions. Like if you say, like, I can't think of like a word off the top of my head that I would say frequently that isn't an English word. Check the iron stocks actually. It's best to... Oh, eat first, eat first, eat. Aye. So the refineries are empty on this guy, and most of the containers are empty. He's not producing. Hang on. No problem. I love it. Thank you. Right. So let's hide all the empty ones. So, but 7k iron left in, 7k steel plates in here. I'll quickly check the other one. Bear with me a wee sec, because these take up a lot of space. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 11k. Right, so this train is fine. This one has got a lot in it. This one is running on fumes for the looks of it when it comes to steel plates. How many did I find? Because none of these cargo containers are being hidden. We just saw that, but I've got only 5k left. I'm going to have to make a delivery soon of steel. And I know exactly how I'm going to do it. Ooh. I'm going to need to put a collector and a small collection disc at the end. Because that... What did I name it this time round? The Infidelitas Dominus has got vast amounts of steel plates still in it. And I could just fly this out, drop it down and then bugger off back with the thingy. Thing is, I really need to redesign, as what I now have, it's really impossible to switch track. Oh, can you explain to me what you're currently using, or how you're splitting the track right now? If you can, that's fine. And what I'll do for you, see when these trains get to the end of this piece of track, right? I'll jump back to one of the intersections and I'll talk you through how I put them together. I'm getting hit here. Oh, low air. I'm going to jump into the med lab. Right. Not not splitting just started like a month ago, trying different things out? Ah! So, would it still be worth it to you if I jumped back to where the switch point says and ran you through it? Like, talked you through how I did it so that you can like, kind of build up a few ideas for yourself? Hang on now, just quickly pull that up there. And click that. Oop. I would love that. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, we've still got plenty of time. I can always extend the time a wee bit if need be to. Let's get out of here then now. You see, I'm wondering if I should go all the way to the end, because it feels like this mound kind of peaks roughly here, and then like if I pull the struts forward to here, stop here, level it, go forward for a wee bit, then left, then down, or do I go down to it? I think I might have to throw myself down to the... No, I get another mound over there. I think I'll need to like put a hinge here first, go down for another 200 blocks maybe, and then see about that. But it has to fit. You have limited time. Well, not that amount of time. I mean, like I says, I can extend a wee bit of time out if need be. I'm going to need to put a projection here on a hinge, see how far that needs to be. Because so far, if I'm leveling this up, I'm heading towards that cliff over there and it's not quite the same. You do this all by eyesight? Yeah, pretty much. Yep. There was... It's more than just eyesight. It's... So... If you get, like... Oh, Christ, I've just been hit with something. So, hold on, what was I saying? Oh, right. If you're... It's not entirely by eyesight. A lot of it is by eyesight to try and get like a rough estimate, like a rough gauge of where I'm pointing, right? I've got the compass at the top, which helps a real lot, but the most vital thing I've used in all these playthroughs, and I only like 6 months in realised just how, no, make that 4 months in, just how useful this wee tool is, and it comes with the base game. So see in the bottom right of my screen, the circle with the horizon on it, that is pretty much what I've been using a lot of the time to eyeball it, to keep close to the ground, how to level things out and not to have any tilt, to keep the trains as flat as possible for the track. I've been using that, and what I've been doing is I've been attaching a rotor or a hinge to a block and then putting a helm on that block and then just ever so gently adjusting it in either direction in order to know how far I'm going. Then take a note of how many degrees the deviation has went, and then change the next piece of track that I'm laying back the way so it flattens it back out. Same with the elevations going up and down as well. I do exactly the same, whereas I'll sit on something and then pull it up until it levels out again so that I know I'm flat to the horizon, and then that's how I can keep things going. But eyesight is the first step to see what I'm aiming for, and then the wee trick with the rest. You know what, I'm thinking because this is peaking here, I'm going to stop the trains here, I'm going to pull the projection back a bit and then see where I get. So I'm roughly, yeah, that'll do because it's starting to drop away at the other end. So 6 full stop and 4 to turn the welders off on this one, and it's 3 on the other dude. So using horizon cockpit, like, yep, use the horizon for the cockpit, because when you're in the cockpit you can see the line is pretty much straight and it's pretty much horizon to horizon, so it's relatively flat for its position, but that only tells you part of it. The 2 east and west points on the compass there, my horizon is below that, So that suggests to me that I'm slightly angled up. I'm pointing up the way, which is becoming a bit of an issue. So 3, turn that off. Right, now let's pull the projection back, which means I have to come all the way back here. No, 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 I can't do that yet. Haha. This guy has his task to do, which I should have already done. Right, so look at the horizon in this guy. Now this guy's halfway up a hill, and he's completely bent on one side, and he's leaning out. If I saw that while building a piece of track, I'd be like, oh no, absolutely not. Not a chance. He's not, but he is building, right? So it's a case of putting yourself on a block that you can move and manipulate, so that you can continue to watch that horizon bubble and see if it moves in any direction that you need it to be. So once this guy is done, I think I can help to speed this up a bit. And there we go, and there we are. I get it, yeah, excellent. The thing is, I kind of see the big S-shaped thing. When I was building that the first time around, it was literally just like a wee curve to the left, but as it was coming up out of a tunnel and on an incline, and I started getting a deviation. It started off like a couple of degrees like in other places of the track, which has been corrected since then, but this one went all the way up to 13 degrees, and it just was not happy at all. I then tried to undo it by building 13 separate pieces of track in order to get it to even itself out. The trains were just no happy with that at all. They kept bouncing over every tiny wee section. Everything was just a complete mess. So I ended up trying to figure out a way, how do I level this out first? How much distance do I need to take up? I was trying to kind of be like as narrow as possible and as short distance as possible, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. Ended up going for the big massive giant curving S shape all the way around, just to make it stay level the whole time. But first I had to, well, once I'd made that decision, I was like, right, I'm doing that, but how do I still get this level, because this thing is still tilting? So that's when I hit on the idea. I was literally on a helm on a block attached to a rotor in one of the many failed attempts trying to level this out, and I just looked at the UI and I thought, hold on, that is pointing, and then it's like it just hit me, and I felt like an idiot. I hadn't seen it before, and I was like, right. And ever since then, now it's like whenever I'm worried about something and it evens something up, that's what I go for. I always shoot for the helm and use the wee compass at the bottom right. So I'm going to pull this one back, projector, and then pull it back a wee bit. That'll do. That's plenty. I'll skip over here, get him to start building, and I'll literally show you an example right now. That's exactly what I'm about today. Then I'll go and do it. I'll check out the switch points as well, and then talk you through that, and then that'll be us at that point. Right. So as it stands right now, I need a hinge. I'll go with a hinge first. Alright. Pop it on. Pop on a single block. And not do that. Right, so hinge, vertically up and down, weld it up. Ooh, lots of noise. And get my large plate, large thingies, large tubes, clicked. Right, down we come. Click and pop and 8. There we go. Right, done. Right, now, see, even just my UI right in the middle of the screen. My horizon's already above. Right? And if I look at the bottom right, the wee bubble, it's a straight line. So that tells me two things. One, it tells me I'm facing up too high, and that would be just a natural curvature of the planets and space engineers. And the second thing I've learned is that I'm still flat to the surface, so the gravitational centre. So I'm still flat, but I'm pointing up the way. Now if I were to start doing a corner right now, as that corner starts to get longer and longer, the tilt starts to take over just by design, because as I'm moving forward to create that curve, the centre of gravity beneath me is now, its orientation in regards to where I'm sitting changes, so the track then appears to be tilting, and that's when I'll spot that on the wee orb. So to get around that now, what I'm doing is I'm taking it step by step, where I'm like, right, flatten out first, then turn, flatten out, then turn, flatten out, then turn. So if I'm ever going up or down, I'm not going to be doing a curve at the same time until I get to that big impact crater zone between the canyons, because I have an idea to try and keep it flat but spiral up. But that's going to be a wee while away, but it's an idea I want to test it just in case. So just to show here, I'm going to say that the hinge, I'll need to name the hinge. I'll name it endpoint, I think. Yeah, endpoint. Click. Right, so endpoint. So we'll do a wee quick check. So if I go up one, so that's the wrong way. So I want to go down positives. So say 2 degrees. Lock. So 1 degree. We're at 1 degree. It's close. It's nearly on horizon. So let's just make this a wee bit more complicated. So my upper angle, I'll lower it to 0.15 degrees, and then I'll unlock the hinge, and then that's gone up the way, so then we'll move it back the way. Right, I'm still too high, so what we'll do is we'll go back in and point again, and it will change this to, well, it's at 0, so maybe that 0.15 was too small, so we'll move it to, actually that was too small, so we'll do 1.5. Alright, so it says 2 here, but it's probably 1.5, and it's bang on. So see how it's bang on centre straight ahead, and the bubble in the corner is also exactly straight as well. So if I were to continue on straight here, this block will convert to a station. I'll set up a projector and it will move on forward. And now what I've done is I've levelled out the track in regards to the terrain. Not the terrain is falling away from me because it's a hill, but I've levelled it out in regards to the gravity core of the planet. And then when I come out only so far, I can then decide how many, like for example when I get out here, so the terrain's falling away but there's still this wee lip here, so when I get to roughly here, I'll then put another hinge piece in, and then I'll put it below the horizon, say about 1 or 2 degrees again, and then this will have me slide down towards the sand dune. Once I feel that the track is sufficiently low enough to the sand dune, I'll then level it back up and then curve to the left towards the cliffs that are there that look suspiciously like the ones towards Helensburgh here. Oh, never mind, that's an IRL thing. Anyway, and then once that's done, it then becomes a lot easier to follow the terrain all the way through the whole lot, as long as you keep that in mind, that angles you're looking for. So I'll top up my gas and I'll head towards one of the switch points as well. But that's the basics of how I'm keeping my track straight and steady. Right, and let's see, hydrogen, pop, 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 eat. Right, let's fly up in person. So that's a lot of tracks so far built. I mean, I know it's like, yeah, 2 hours is a lot. Yeah, I get it. 2 hours is no half bad. Right. So first, the Y intersection. This is like the first one. So the first track here is Well, first of all, this is a rotation table, so if we go a locomotive or a wagon that's facing the wrong way, I can just press a button and it lifts up, rotates, comes back down, and then the wagon's facing the right way. And just a bit further ahead is where I'm building the trains on this track, because these two are the main lines. Now, line A here doesn't have a break in it, because this one doesn't become part of this switch point, so this one's just straight up. But line B, on the other hand, does break apart. This one is with the Y intersection, and it's cut up into two parts. So the first part would be the upper section, which is broken into parts here, and a smaller bit at the back in order to level it out a wee bit. The bottom part here also does the same in order to meet in the centre. The key component to these is the hinges and how far they move. So if you use build vision, I can show here that they are set to move only 4 degrees, and that's it. So both of them make a grand total of 8 degrees. Couple that with the other ones is 16, but that's negative 16. So they both happen to meet perfectly. I've set it up to a button and a timer to do it all on its own. But if your trains are going to move all these, and considering they're still large grids and not station grids, there's going to be problems at any kind of speed. So you want to put landing gears on them as well to grab a hold of the track when it stops moving, to make sure that it stays in place. So I'll test that in a wee sec, because we've got somebody else, another person here in the chat. Zondelgond, you're building a 2-track rail. Wouldn't a monorail system be more efficient and cheaper in the second track for stability? Yes and no. Yes, as in the cost would be less, but it depends on the material I would need. Like, say, blast door block. It would be a lot more stable, because I'd be able to wrap wheels around the monorail track, so it'd clip on a lot better, which means I'd be able to achieve much higher speeds. However, a monorail would detach a little for the designs of the trains I'm going with, and I also fear that with monorail the weight element of being able to transport what I'm transporting would be a lot less, so I opt for a much wider track, for a much wider profile for my trains as well, to pack in a lot more cargo space. Although they are a lot slower, but damn, they're good looking. See? Lovely. Anyway, right, so what I was saying is about this intersection, right? So the first timer turns off the landing gear and then tells the 2 points to move into alignment with each other. Then the next one waits a few seconds, turns on the landing gear to grip them and hold them tight. Then I've set a timer for like a minute, so I need a minute to get my trains through the switch point and back onto the main line before they detach and repeat the sequence but in reverse. Alright, so where's the button? Here we go. And it would be this one here, so I'll put automation timer 1 on the taskbar to trigger now. And I will point here. Right, so I'll pull myself up. So press 1. Separates, comes together. Now they're always separate grids, and then that allows them to connect. So as long as the gap between the two tracks remains big enough for a small grid 5x5 wheel, there'll be no problems with clipping or renting. The only thing is you might need to worry about is like the gaps in between. As long as you've got a wheel set that is at least more than 2 wheels, so say 3 wheels optimally, then by the time the first one jumps the gap, the second one will be in the gap when the first one's already attached, and the third one is behind, so everything becomes a lot more stable as the train moves across. And that's just one example of this effort. And this is just a Y intersection. The only really used to get my freshly built trains and wagons out of the construction yard and onto the main lines. Of course, if I've got it facing, even if it's facing the right way, it's still not hitched up into anything, so I'd have to shunt it all the way back along the track through the station to the other side where I've built the X intersection. And this one's using exactly the same principles as the Y intersection, it's just it comes in 2 sides. So all I've did is, and I'll quickly jump here, all I've done is put an additional set of timer blocks in order to control the sequence in which all the pieces of track move in order to connect to each other. And when that happens, it's only the blocks being triggered because I named them specifically in order to do that. And if I go in here, so each one is like left and right. So if I triggered timer block right, trigger that one now, the whole thing moves there, and hopefully that'll grip. Yep, right, so these have gripped. And what's happened here is, if I can get out of here, that track A and B are now connected through here, whereas only track B at the Y intersection was connected to track C. And then the same would happen going the other way, but I also happen to add in a traffic light to go with it as well. A small grid traffic light on the side, hooked into the same grid, so the timer blocks will tell them exactly the same as well. The white lights indicating you're taking a left turn, the amber lights warning for caution, and then once it's done it disconnects. As it's moving, red light goes on, and then when it's into the locked position, green light comes on. Perfect build, man. Thanks very much. Yeah, it didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to take in order to put this together. Respect. Thank you. But does that help you, Gripe? Does that help you at least have an idea, a kind of like an idea for your own build and how you would apply some of these things that you've seen here into your own trains? I have an idea now. Yay! Good man. I'm just wondering how long I set the timer for this thing to disconnect, because this one I think was set a wee bit longer because this one was meant for much bigger trains. Sorry, Caps. I knew it. See, when I saw the lowercase I at the beginning, I knew that's what had happened. Don't worry about it. Oh. Yeah, it worked. Yeah, and the light turned green. Although, I think the braking torque needs to be increased. That's something I've also been dealing with as well. Braking torque's probably just not enough. Because see, when the track was going back together, this is something you might need to watch out for, is see how it's not exactly aligned. It's still enough for a 5x5 small grid to be able to get through. But see, it had a lot of excessive wiggling and movement as it aligned itself back up. Higher braking torque, like at least double the normal torque, would be enough to stop that excess wobbling for being able to get out of alignment. I mean, it's a tiny wee gap there, but it should still be enough for the train to come across it. And I'm going to, since the time is getting on, I'm going to quickly run down to the power core to plant my character for later. Play homage to the statue. This is where I get a lot of lag in this area, a lot of sim speed drops, and there's an even bigger reason now as to why the sim speed just completely tanks. Nearly there. Down we go. Oh, this is like so jittery. Come on. And up here. And this is something you've probably not seen yet, because I just built this and recorded this morning. Pretty neat intersections. Would you use action relays to switch them remotely, or do you use different methods? I use action relays. Yeah, action relays. So when I've got a freshly built train, I always make sure I've got an antenna and a helm on it of some kind, even if it's just like a wagon, unless I'm shunting it with something else. And what I'll do is I'll have it set to it, and I'll put it on my taskbar, just tap the button, sends the signal, intersection, goes through its motions, done, dusted. It's brilliant, both for the X and Y intersections, for that, both left and right as well, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's such a time saver, needing to stop, get out, press the button, climb back in, jump across. It's much better than action relays. But the wee sneaky preview of what I've built this morning, and then made a video about it, which has gone up on Wednesday, is the new power core. 5 deuterium reactors, 210 megawatts each. This would work better and be a lot if it was like the nuclear reactor. The nuclear reactors, because they're like 3x3 and 1x1 on the small grids, they would fit a lot better. But currently, right now, I'm only doing this because I need more juice. I need a lot more power. And you ask why your sim speed drops. I know. I've got a functional elevator, so 2 functional elevators going up and down. I've got this. I've got a tech wall that I've put nothing on, sitting in my command and control center. I've got all these small grid things all attached. Although, see when you put like a landing gear or a magnetic plate on it and then lock it into place, it tends not to move. So, so there's that. But it's just this one kind of needs to move because it's just so damn cool. Lights are also tanking when close together. I did wonder about that. That looks awesome. Too bad my PC goes up on fire if I try something like that. I see. You're no far off when you talk about things going on fire. The heat that comes after this monster is unreal. I have to sit with fans around me just to keep me cooled as well. I'll switch it to here and just quickly inspect this wee guy again just to make sure it's still running. So this one would be the Mark V. You can tell it's different because its front profile is different for the Mark VI. Hopper wagon and the cargo wagons. So much ore can be packed into them. I mean, it took me like, I think it was last month at the end of the live stream, I'd filled up these cargo containers. I only managed to get about 15% full, right? And it took so long to empty them. It was absolutely brutal. And I was just thinking to myself, what could I be building in the meantime? The Infidelitas Dominus just sitting here resting. This will be taking flight and it will drop off all of the steel inside it. I mean, we're talking scores and scores worth of steel in there. Although it's got the builders that could probably do a lot of building itself, but that's for big projects. I've got the station houses over there. Got a couple of cargo containers in there as well. Cargo wagons in there. Station builder. Everything's all great. I'm on course for our here. Sweeping around. Past the edge. Try to aim for this tiny wee gap here. Squeeze through the gap. Round the corner. And down into here, which is where I'm going to try and do the spiral up. So I can get up to here. And then follow that forest all the way to the ice fields. So. Ooh, I've lost my place. There we go. Right. Hey. But it looks awesome, and a little less sim speed then. Yeah, a little less sim speed's definitely the order of the day. And, well, that's nice in winter when your computer functions as a radiator. Yeah, surprisingly enough, my gas bills did go down this winter because, you know, the PC's just so hot. Electric bill went up. Anyway, that's going to be me for the day. I've been on for, a little longer. Don't worry about it. But yeah, thanks guys for coming along. We got a lot of work done. We moved a few trains. We got some track laid, got some struts put in place, and I've done one of the things I always want to do, which is help someone. I've managed to achieve that as well. So, to you Zond and Gripe, always have a good night and take care of yourselves, alright guys? And thanks for explanations. You're welcome. And next month, well, 4 weeks for now. So hang on, I've got my calendar here. I'll check. I'll just check now. I might as well check now just in case. So I don't want to commit to anything in case it all goes tits up, you know. So where are we? We're on November. Is it December the 2nd already? Is that the right year I've got that set to? No, that's wrong. It's the 30th. Right, so it's the 30th of November. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So 28th of December. So I'll be back on the 20th of December with a live stream. In the meantime, I'll be doing building and uploading to YouTube and all the usual stuff. So you guys take care of yourselves, and everybody have a nice Christmas when it comes as well, and have a nice wee good hug me and maybe a wee dram, because I know I'll be having hopefully, if my Christmas gifts all show up, I'll have a nice wee 18-year Glenfiddich whiskey. That'll be lovely to have at the new year. So you guys take care of yourselves, alright?